Hello, I am your host, Cole Cyber, and you are watching Cybertime News.
British petroleum is starting to look like the book of Revelation chapter 16 verse 3. The second angel poured out his bowl, and it became like the blood of a dead person, and every living thing in the sea died. Now pay attention to verse 4. The third angel poured out his bowl into the rivers and the springs of water, and they turned to blood. All this oil will have to come down when it rains on the rivers, lakes, and streams, making water more valuable than gold. We have as our guest here the Mexican Consulate of California. Hello, do you speak English?
Yes, I had to study English because the migra was throwing me back into Mexico every time I opened my mouth. But now I speak English very, very well, so I can blend in with the gringos.
You don't sound like a Mexican, but your looks scream south of the border. Do you support the Arizona anti-illegal alien laws?
I do support the Arizona anti-illegal alien laws because all these illegal aliens need to go back to their country. They need to go back to England. This is not the Gulf of Britain. This is the Gulf of Mexico. And more than half of the United States belong to Mexico.
Well, thank you, and perhaps some will embrace your opinion. We are here with Bloodhive, debating creation versus evolutionist. And our first caller, Lana, on the line. What is your question?
The missing link that connects the dots is this bone. It reveals that our parents were once monkeys. This planet was at one time ruled by apes. You can see them now, using many tools to perform basic tasks.
Bloodhive, what do you think about the missing link monkey bone and tools concept?
Hello, Cold Cyber. History records that a fossil human skull was found in England in 1912. The evolutionists, flushed and excited, pointed to their missing link for more than 40 years, from 1912 until 1953, and boasted about it in the textbooks as being proof of evolution. In fact, more than 500 doctoral dissertations were written on Piltdown Man, seeking to establish him as one of the most impressive finds in the history of science. But in 1953, 3 honest scientists found that the modern ape jaw and human skull had been doctored to resemble an ape man. And of course, it was a fake. The persons responsible for the hoax, some allege, were Charles Dawson himself, the man who found the fossil, and Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, who had written several books trying to harmonize evolution and Catholicism. Only in 1953, when a method for determining the age of fossil bones by analyzing their fluorine content was revived, were critical tests carried out in the Piltdown fossils. The human skull and ape-like jaw, contradicting updated ideas about man's evolution, had aroused suspicion. Most of the specimens had been artificially stained with bichromate, a saline solution derived from potassium. The specimens had been artificially stained to give them the appearance of great age. The canine tooth had been cut with steel instruments into an improbable bat shape. The Piltdown skull was a deliberate fraud. The faking of the mandible and the canine was skillful and deliberate. It was certainly a determined and unscrupulous hoax. Who was responsible for this hoax? Charles Dawson? Dawson was certainly at the bottom of this hoax, but probably didn't know enough of primate anatomy to do a good job. Others from the British Museum may have been involved. This would explain why the fossil was kept under lock and key for so many years. And even such leading anthropologists as Dr. Louis Leakey were not allowed to examine it. From the very beginning, this should have been an indicator for any smart individual to look at this red flag from the beginning of evolution, or their evidence of evolution, that it turned out to be a lie. And this should be an indicator, a red flag indicator, to stay away from it. As far as apes using tools, I can train my dog to perform many tricks. As far as apes using tools, you can train any animal to perform basic tricks for a treat.
We have another caller. Hawk. Thank you for watching Cybertown News. I'm your host, Cole Cyber. Look me up on YouTube. Good day, old chap.